Controversy, strained relations and blame game. These all surrounded the 2010 Nobel Peace Prize awarded to this man, Liu Zumbu, considered a notorious criminal by some, a hero by others. This is where it all started, the Nobel Institute in the heart of Oslo. For over a century, this institute has acted as a framework for the awarding of the Peace Prize for people from all walks of life. When it became evident in 2010 that the Nobel Committee was going to award Chinese dissident Liu Zumbu, a sleeping dragon was stirred. Through various channels, the Chinese government let it be publicly known that not only would they oppose the choice, but that it will also have long-term consequences for Norway.
Well, we knew exactly what the Chinese position was. As a matter of fact, both the chairman and I had meetings with the Chinese vice foreign minister who told us very explicitly that they were against awarding the Nobel Peace Prize to a Chinese dissident. But the committee is independent. It's independent of the Chinese government. It's independent of the Norwegian government. They should feel free to come up with whatever advice they would like, but it's up to the committee to make the decision.
When the Nobel Committee insisted on Lee as the best pick, China began to flex its economic muscle, paralyzing several operations of Norwegian companies in China.
It is obvious that Chinese authorities reacted negatively to the prize, and also we have scattered reports from the business community that their transactions in China have been hindered. So there are several stories. I don't have the complete overview, but it seems to be serious enough.
Although there has been no open boycott of Norwegian goods or services, and no formal action has been taken by Chinese authorities, there has become a more distant relationship between the two nations. Recently, a Norwegian security company, DNV, found themselves suddenly lacking important licenses in China. Other firms, especially within the important salmon industry, also report difficulties with imports and exports, or in some cases, even obtaining visas. Even though none of this is connected directly to the Nobel Prize, it shows an increased pressure on Norwegian trade and a more bureaucratic distancing to Norway by China. We would have liked to talk to a representative of the Chinese government, but was informed that the ambassador Tang Quanqing was unavailable for interview. When prompted if there are others who can comment on the current issues, instead we received a bundle of documents stating the ambassador's official point of view on the controversy.
Liu was brought to justice according to the Chinese law. To award the prize to a convicted criminal is an open contempt for China's legal system and therefore constitutes interference into China's internal affairs.
China already imports and consumes vast quantities of Norwegian farmed fish products, equally a value of almost 1,700 million euros. However, as Norwegian-Chinese relations have chilled down, the FTA has been put on hold. Nevertheless, the Norwegian parliament is standing its ground.
There won't be any apologies being delivered from Norway on behalf of the Nobel Committee or something like that, the prize that has been awarded. That being said, I think it's important for Norway and also probably every other country to have a good relations with China because of the situation and the role they play in the world economy.
With Norwegian exports running into a bureaucratic wall, and China unable or unwilling to accept the current state of affairs, things could indeed look black for relations between the two nations, just as the free trade agreement could become a stillborn baby.
They remembered the gestures in 1951 for 50 years. They will remember the Nobel Prize for some years, and it's a kind of open question when they will kind of modify their act.
For now, the official policy of the Norwegian Foreign Ministry is to refocus their efforts towards China and work around the problem by targeting other aspects of mutual interest rather than struggle with a redundant issue. Agatha Akabwe, from Oslo, Norway. China already imports and consumes vast quantities of Norwegian farmed fish products, equally a value of almost 1,700 million euros. However, as Norwegian-Chinese relations have chilled down, the FTA has been put on hold. Nevertheless, the Norwegian parliament is standing its ground.